Yo, what's going on everybody, Swagkage here, and welcome to today's video where we're going to be talking about the body flicker technique, also referred to as Shunshin or the teleportation jutsu in the English dub of the anime. Now, despite the fact that it's a pretty integral part of the series, and a jutsu that pretty much all shinobi have access to, the body flicker technique wasn't really explained all that heavily in either the anime or the manga. As a matter of fact, I don't think either of them mention it by name very often at all. So a lot of the information about this technique is spread across outside sources, like the databooks. The first databook in particular covers this jutsu pretty well. So the databook explains that Shunshin is a D-rank ninjutsu that is typically used for high-speed movement, and is also colloquially known as a teleportation technique. So teleportation and the high-speed movement provided by body flicker are one and the same in the Naruto universe. The kinds of high-speed movement that I'm talking about here are pretty frequently seen throughout the world of Naruto. Whenever a character seems to vanish into a puff of smoke, or jumps away and leaves a trail of black lines behind, they're using the body flicker technique. So, like I said, as anybody who's watched the series for an extended period of time knows, this jutsu is very common, but it's not typically used for combat, and is instead most frequently used to travel to a particular destination, whether it's a long distance away or very close by. Using it in combat is quite a bit more difficult than using it for travel or transport, and I'll touch a bit more on why later, but for now let's talk about how it is performed and how it is employed. Like all ninjutsu, the body flicker technique is performed with chakra, though in this jutsu's case the chakra is internalized, and is used to temporarily bolster its user's physical capabilities. Their speed in particular. The body flicker technique obviously doesn't make a person stronger. So with their speed enhanced, a person is able to move really fast, which is, like I've mentioned, typically used for travel or transport. The amount of chakra required to use this technique depends on how far a person intends to move. Obviously, the further away a person's intended destination is, the more chakra this technique will consume. Now, I need to make it clear that this is not a space-time ninjutsu. A lot of people seem to think it is, and I can't blame them for it, but the body flicker technique is just a technique that allows for really high-speed movement. While the characters consider this a teleportation ability in the world of Naruto, it's not the same as teleportation in a general sense. Naruto characters define teleportation differently than we do. The concept of teleportation typically involves the manipulation of space, and sending an object or person from one location to another without actually having them travel there, whereas the body flicker technique, or teleportation in the context of Naruto, does not actually involve the manipulation of space in any way. Like I've said many times, it's just a person moving really fast. Now, while it's best used for basic transport, it can be used in combat by the average person, but in a pretty limited amount of ways. The most widely used combat application of the body flicker technique is the substitution jutsu, or the body replacement technique, which allows a person to, well, I doubt I need to explain what it does. You all know what the substitution jutsu is. I'll probably explain the specifics of the substitution jutsu in its own short video though, so be on the lookout for that. Anyway, there aren't a whole lot of other easy to use combat applications for the body flicker technique, but there are a couple of people who are renowned for their use of this jutsu, like the 3rd Raikage and the 4th Raikage, and probably most famously, Shisui Uchiha. All of these people were capable of using the body flicker technique in rapid succession in the middle of a battle, which made it seem like their natural speed was the speed provided by the Shunshin jutsu. Fighting somebody moving this quickly is very difficult for an average ninja, as you can probably imagine, which is why many of the people who used body flicker this way were so feared. Now, I don't know how much credit goes to this jutsu in particular in the case of the Raikage, since their lightning release chakra cloak also has something to do with their ability to move so quickly, but I know Shisui can attribute his ridiculous speed entirely to this jutsu. The only thing Shisui did to augment his speed was use the body flicker jutsu in battle, and he's stated to be ridiculously fast. He's actually known as Shisui of the body flicker, or Shisui the teleporter. It's not elaborated on how exactly these characters used body flicker for combat, but I can just imagine that they have a much better understanding of the jutsu and are able to use it a lot more precisely than an average person could. Anyway, that about does it for this video, since there's actually not a whole lot to talk about regarding the body flicker technique, but a whole lot of people wanted this video, so I just thought I'd go ahead and push it out there. If you have any ideas for future video topics, as always, leave them in the comments below, and I'll definitely make sure to get to them in a future video if I like them enough. As always, thank you guys for watching the video all the way to the end. If you're new here, make sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button to get updated when I post new content. But above all else, have a good rest of the day. Till my next video, talk to you guys later. Swagkage out. Bye.